Yeah, I was waiting for you to say no, and I'm like, the gloves will come out. You don't even start that with me this morning.
Yeah, yes. As a matter of fact, because that seems to be the second thing people like about me.
Yeah.
First thing they say, oh, she's talented, and the next thing they say, she's beautiful. So, I think so.
You can interrupt me at any time. You know, just put your questions. Let me ask this: at what point did you know that you must act?
Well, acting is something I had done right from when I was a kid, but then I didn't think I didn't have the impression that I must act. I think it was when I came into the industry and when I did a movie, and it came out nice, and people were like, "No, you should take this as a career.
Right.
You know, you did well. You could do better." And I had movie directors, tell me, "Oh, you have something."
Yeah.
You know, and I said, "Okay." Then
So was that does that mean that you stumbled into it, that you didn't?
I was actually going to ask that because I know you read English for your first degree and then a diploma in theatre arts. Was it after the theatre arts that you knew you could act?
It was during the theatre arts. Actually, my first movie, I did it while I was still in school, still studying theatre art. Yeah. I always loved acting, but I didn't see myself taking it as a career.
No. I mean, if you went to school to study theatre arts,
then you must know that this is what I want to do.
No, really. When I went in to do diploma, I loved it. Like I said, I've always been an art person. But actually, what I wanted to be was a lawyer. I wanted to, I had the intention, okay, after my diploma in theatre art, I just wanted to have that thing about the theatre because I've always loved it. I wanted to go, I intended going over to read law, to either be a lawyer or a newscaster or a journalist.
Right.
Funny enough. Yeah.
You saw the laugh behind my eyes, like, yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, that's what I wanted to do, actually. Then, before that time, acting was not really thriving so much in Nigeria. It wasn't very popular before this time.
Right.
I think that was the period where it just started, So
which is why I asked that question. At what point did you know you must act? I didn't ask you, there's a point in your life when you know that I must do this. Against all the options that are, it's like a crossroads. We all come to a crossroads, and you know that sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know. So I don't know if you knew. There was a point when you knew this is what I must do, and whatever it takes, this is where I will be.
Yeah, when I started, when
you saw that first film.
When I saw the first film.
What did you like about that first film?
I found that I was just, it worked. Like, I saw myself on screen. I liked my reactions. I'm like, okay, this is something that I'm going to. And then I had somebody that inspired me a lot. That was Auntie Liz Benson. When I watched it, I used to see myself like a younger version of her. So I knew when I saw myself on screen, I'm like, I didn't do badly. I'm going to do this.
Right.
And then she inspired me a lot. I just saw myself like a younger version of her.
Right.
And
what was your parents' reaction to your acting?
Initially, they weren't cool with it at all. Really, my dad had a problem with me having to travel. Traveling, the long journey going, because really,
how young were you at that point?
I think I was 19.
Oh, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
I was 19. So I had to travel from home to Enugu as Aba to go record. And at that point, we had nobody, there was no relation around for me to stay with. And my dad really had a problem with me going to a place where I didn't know anybody, to go stay.
And it wasn't as if people took advantage of you while you were doing all the recording? Or you have some experiences that were not too pleasant?
Nobody took advantage of me. It's the thing is, when you get into the industry, some people just look at you, oh, she's young and probably she's desperate. They want to come make offers. It's entirely what you want.
So they do try.
Of course, they do try.
They do try. How did you handle it?
Well, like I said, it's a matter of what you want. I was lucky because there was a director that actually really wanted me, really wanted to do something for me.
Yeah.
That saw the potentials in me, and he said he could capitalize on that. And So I kind of like, as a matter of fact, it was the one that came home to talk to my parents for them to allow me to go. You know, so he gave me like a fatherly figure in the industry.
Right.
You know, so he kind of like protected me against so many things.
Right.
You know, and that way it worked for me.
So, but for the average 19-year-old who's talented, who's beautiful, and wants to break into the movie industry, and these kind of things comes at her, what would you advise the person to do? How does the person handle it? Therefore, if they don't have, you know, if they don't have like a mentor, father figure to
such a man that protected you.
At the end of the day, you still have to stand your ground. You understand? When you know what you have, you believe in what you have. You can, if you don't get a job today, you can get tomorrow. By the time you lay yourself down because of what you want to do, you make them feel you're desperate. That is how it is going to keep being like that.
Right.
You're going to keep, you know, having to give something to get it. That is, and at the end of the day, you might end up not even making it.
Right. Because I know that, you know, for every superstar, for every single superstar, there'll be maybe 2,000 wannabes, 2,000 aspiring people.
Yeah.
So how does it feel for you to be like, oh, I'm singled out, I'm on top?
It feels good. It feels good, really.
More attention, more money?
Well, it's a success story, really.
Okay.
You know, it feels good. It makes you just feel like, you've achieved something, you've succeeded.
Right.
You know, it feels good.
Yeah, but I've also watched you. I mean, you've evolved. You know, it's hard to believe that you're just 25 because I've seen you. You know, mostly I've seen it in the newspaper. Sorry, you know, I watched a few films, but generally, I mean, I don't watch me.
Okay.
I don't watch you. So, really, so I can start from that. I don't watch. I don't really have time to sit down and watch. So I try to decipher people from what I see, not the stories that I told, which are moments I walk, but you know what I see. And she's evolved. You know, sort of like just come out like a butterfly. You know, your style has changed, your look has changed for the better. You know, how did that happen? Are you conscious that happened to you?
Yes. You see, it's just like when you're young, you grow. As you know, I've tried to grow. You know, I've just tried to grow, and I learn a lot. I watch a lot of movies. You know, I try to work on myself.
What movies do you watch?
I watch a lot of foreign films. When I'm free, I watch Nigerian movies as well.
When you are free,
not really.
I'm sure you don't want your colleagues to hear that.
Funny enough, I watch theirs more than I even watch mine. I'm not very comfortable watching myself.
If you are comfortable watching yourself, I worry a bit about you. You know, most people who are, I don't watch myself. It's a painful process. I watch it little, I'm like, God, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, because I never get satisfied. You always end up criticizing yourself over and over.
And it's also embarrassing for me. I don't know.
Yeah, you feel shy. If I walk into a place and I show my movie.
Are you shy deep down? Do you think you're a shy person?
A little bit.
A little bit.
What were you like in school? Were you one of those girls who just, you know, who just were confident, who knew where they were, who were popular, or were you one of the geeks or the ones who were making fun?
I was a very popular person.
Oh, you
I
were
popular in school.
You were popular, eh?
Yes, and I was very confident for some reason. I always knew I wasn't going to.
Why would you not be confident for some reason? Have you seen yourself? You know, I mean, look at these girls talking, and you know what? I have this theory that girls who mature faster physically, and particularly those who are blessed in that way, are just more confident, and you are blessed.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that.
She rolled her eyes. I was waiting for how she was going to handle that.
There's one question that is always bothering me. I read in the papers that the Actors Guild, they banned some people, they unbanned them. What's your reaction to it? What does it even?
I don't know which one is which. The story I have, according to my research, correct me if it's wrong. Number one, you were banned 6 months by Actors Guild in Enugu for indecent dressing and seduction. One.
Whatever that means.
Well, she has to explain. When I read it, I said, we don't craze finish. So that's one. And then again, they said you were banned later on because you were unruly.